This is Digivation Network.
Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting edition of Digivation Network with Barra Gabi. I am Gideon Tobilaba. If you're looking for how to stay informed in trending issues around ICT, business, lifestyle and innovation, Digivation is the place to be. Log on to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Digivation Network, or better still, you go to our website at www.digivationnetwork.com. You can also join us on all our social media handles displayed on the screen.
This is Digivation Network.
On today's show, we have a special interview with a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly who came all the way from Imo State to achieve that. How we did that, we're going to see it on the show today. Plus, how the House responded to COVID-19 pandemic, technologically and in some other ways as well. Apart from that, we have the top 5 for you, which focuses on the top 5 countries that have legalized cryptocurrencies as a legal tender in their countries. These and many more coming your way. But first, let's get to see the trending issues in the past week.
In the news, federal government finally lifts ban on Twitter. Pantami named Digivation Man of the Year 2021. NIMC debunks reports of alleged server hack. Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather Jr. sued for alleged crypto scam. The Nigerian government has finally lifted suspension of Twitter operations more than 6 months after its force declared a crackdown on the social media giant in the country. This was disclosed in a press statement on Wednesday signed by the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency and Chairman Technical Committee Nigerian Twitter Engagement, Kashifu Abdullahi. Abdullahi in a statement said that Twitter has agreed to set a legal entity in Nigeria during the first quarter of 2022. The National Identity Management Commission has dismissed reports that made rounds on social media that its servers were hacked. According to the Commission, the servers were not breached but are fully optimized at the highest international security levels as the custodian for the most important national database for Nigeria. Making this declaration in his New Year message, Engineer Aliu Aziz, the Director General of NIMC, said, as custodian of the foundational identity database for Africa's most populous nation, NIMC has gone through great lengths to ensure the nation's database is adequately secured and protected, especially given the spate of cyber attacks on networks across the world. Digivation Network, Africa's pioneers specialized in IT media, presented its esteemed Digivation Man of the Year award to Professor Isa Ali Pantami, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, at his office in Abuja. President of Digivation Network, Bayero Agabi, highlighted that the minister demonstrated leadership and commitment to reposition Nigeria's digital economy sector to now become the poster boy of the economy. In his response, Professor Pantami expressed his gratitude to the management of Digivation Network and the organization's contribution to nation building. He assured that the recognition will further spur him and his team to continue to do better. Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather Jr. sued for alleged crypto pump and dump. The celebrities are accused of promoting a crypto token, Etromax, which became worthless within days. A group that invested in the token have filed a lawsuit against the celebrities and the creator of the coin, saying they were victims of a pump and dump scheme. This follows recent data from the North American Security Administration Society that investments related to cryptocurrencies and digital assets are top risk for investors.
You are still watching Digivation Network with Barra Gabi. Join us on our YouTube channel to see more videos at www.youtube.com/Digivation Network, or you go to our website at www.digivationnetwork.com.
This is Digivation Network.
Winners of the 2021 Future African Leaders Awards are latest to benefit from the President of Love Road Incorporated. the Chris Embassy Ministry, Pastor Chris Oyakilome's generosity. The 2021 Star Prize Award winner and 9 other nominees that made the top 10 were unveiled at an event organized by the Future African Leaders Foundation. The initiator of the Future African Leaders Award, FALA 2021, on 31st of December 2021.
Next is Cesar Komi Aguidi, Togo, 23 years old. Cesar.
The 2021 Future African Leaders Award Foundation organizer further held a press conference in Lagos on January 6 to showcase the winners to the world. Present at the event were 2021 FALA winners, nominees, past FALA winners, dignitaries, and media houses. The newly inducted winners were introduced at the press conference by Gay Consuela Vesta, and they were given the opportunity to share their success stories as winners.
Give kudos to the man of God, Pastor Chris, who, instead of criticizing, has taken it upon himself to change not just the perception of Africa, but to change also the reality of Africa.
A senior manager in the Future African Leaders Foundation, Pastor Ayodele Adedeji, and the present winners had interesting comments at the close of the press conference.
Just that I carry in my mind, I want to say the young person, I up there impacting, their world and generation. For example, we have a certain winner in 2018 by the name Chris Iyama, who led the not too young to run, and that campaign was all about young people rising up to leadership, young people rising up to become head of state, to becoming president of nation.
Africa has a lot of talents, there are a lot of opportunities, but we are the ones who create those opportunities. We are the ones to build those talents, to train these talents, to be able to build these opportunities, to build the Africa that we want. For example, we cannot keep importing funds every year. We have to build a talent that can be able to produce these funds. Yeah. This
award is a recognition. It's for the entire Africa, the entire world, whoever is watching now, to realize the potential African leaders. And especially me from South Sudan, it's a privilege. I already have plans that I've put down, and one is the passion and the desire to build the girl child in South Sudan, empower the women, to make them realize how powerful they are and what they can do in nation building in South Sudan. I've already been reaching to the girls in the refugee camps, in the country and in the capital city and even in the rural areas. So now it's another kick. It means I have to reach more than the impact I've done. I should reach beyond that.
Hello, I am Bayero Agabi. Welcome you to this new ride. A digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is Digivation Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Surprisingly, the operating principle behind most modern electric vehicles predates the internal combustion engine by a number of decades. In 1834, a Dutch professor named Sibrander Strating of Groningen, Netherlands, built his own small electric vehicle. The catch being its battery was non-rechargeable. Internal combustion engines work on the principle that fuel and air, when compressed and ignited, cause a tiny explosion. That's the combustion part. This explosive force pushes a piston. That piston's linear motion, in concert with a team of fellow pistons, transforms into rotary motion via a mechanical crankshaft. This in turn spins your wheels along the highway. Conversely, the fundamental principle that drives electric cars is magnetism. Everybody knows how opposing poles on a magnet attract and how alike poles repel each other. So let's imagine an experiment using two magnets, one fixed, the other mounted on a nearby rotating shaft. If the two poles nearest to each other on both magnets share the same polarity, say north to north, the magnet on the shaft will be repelled. Because it's attached to a shaft, the shaft will turn. That is until the south pole on the shaft magnet is aligned with the north pole on the fixed magnet, whereupon the shaft will again be still. In our imaginary experiment, we've made the shaft turn a half rotation. All very well, but that won't get us very far on the morning commute. Here's where electromagnetism enters the chat. In a fixed or permanent magnet, like the kind you have on your fridge at home, those magnetic poles are rigid and never change. North is always north, south is always south. On an electromagnet, however, which is essentially a core of metal coiled in electrical wires, this magnetic polarity can be reversed. Imagine one of our experimental magnets is now an electromagnet. If the south pole quickly flips over to north, the fixed magnet will yet again repel the moving magnet, rotating our shaft another half spin. That's a whole spin now. We're slowly getting there. For a basic illustration of how this polarity reversal works, imagine a very simple circuit involving a battery and a light bulb. Electrons flow in one direction from the battery, through the wires, to the light bulb, and back again to the battery. If we remove our battery from the circuit, flip it 180 degrees, then replace it in the circuit, those electrons will still flow around the circuit, just in the opposite direction. Either way, the bulb lights up. Electromagnets, like light bulbs, work whichever direction the electrons are flowing. But rather brilliantly, the polarity of the magnet gets reversed with the flow of electrons. So to keep our magnets in permanent repel mode, we just need to keep reversing the polarity of the magnet. How do we do that? One way would be to keep popping out the battery and flipping it around. But that's a lot of trips to the mechanics with your EV for the sake of a few feet of ground covered. So the real trick to making our magnet spin, which is essentially how electric motors work, is through the so-called inverter. The inverter module on the EV draws direct current from the car battery and, through a clever combination of quick switches, slick circuitry, and capacitors, flips the flow of electrons back and forth nearly 60 times a second. Domestic electric motors, like the one you have in your hairdryer, don't require an inverter. Why? Because the current that comes from your wall outlet already flips back and forth. That's why it's named alternating current, or AC. Batteries of any type can only ever produce DC, or direct current. So, spinning magnets, driven by alternating current passing through coils of wire, is essentially what drives electric cars. Electric powertrains have a number of advantages over the internal combustion engine. For starters, the motion produced by the motor is already rotary in nature. Dirty pistons on an ICE require a complicated, breakable crankshaft just in order to turn their linear motion into rotary movement. So EVs are less likely to fail or require expensive, time-consuming maintenance. Here's another clever thing about that inverter. By adjusting the frequency and amplitude of its newly created AC current, the vehicle's speed and torque can be finely calibrated by its driver. There's no such fine control built into an explosively hot internal combustion engine, which is why expensive and accident-prone additions like gearboxes are a tiresome necessity. Another nifty detail about any EV's powertrain is when the shaft-mounted magnet, or rotor in engineering parlance, is itself spun, it generates electricity. This reversal very handily recharges the car battery. How can the rotor be turned, you ask? With any hefty source of kinetic energy, like say a braking automobile, which is handy. This is, to be clear, a very simple overview. There's different types of electric motor, and refinements to the design are happening all the time. Not least at one particular Californian car company named for the 19th century genius who discovered the magic of alternating current by himself, Nikola Tesla. What do you think? Will your next vehicle be an EV? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more flipping electrifying tech content.
This is Digivation Network.
Registered since 2015, the last thing I've been using. I voted from the first this thing, I voted the second public, and still about to vote. There is need for every Nigerian to register for their PVC. It is very necessary. As a citizen of Nigeria, we have to vote the person that we need to be in governance. For you to have a good governance, you must go and vote so that you have the best.
Yeah, I voted in 2019. Back then I was in Anambra State, so I voted to a presidential election, and then I think the House of the Assembly back in Anambra State. So I will advise them to have it because it's a right we have. We ought to have it to vote to make our country better. To make a choice of the leader we actually want to be on the seat, because the country actually is already going down economically, so we need to vote and choose a leader that will let us go to the promised land.
No, I don't have voter card, but I have the old one. I went to the center several times to get it, but I couldn't get it because too much of population and blah 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 they are saying there. So even there's a time that I went to local government, they say they want to collect money to do it. So since there, I did not pay interest to do it again. Well, it's advisable to have it too, because I myself I need it. But before I thought that is just a minor thing, but now I need it.
No, because of the stress is too much. Going and coming back day by day, like you will not even get the very. Even though they ask you to go there today, you will not still get it today. They will ask you to come back tomorrow. So there is no need for me to, but I know that I will do it.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was 2018. It was really, really stressful. And the people that were attending to us, they were making everything difficult. And before we could even collect itself, the crowd was too much. I think my suggestion is that they should employ more people so that they can be able to attend to people. And the way they treated people last 2 years or so, or last 5 years, it was not really, really it at all.
This is Digivation Network.
This is still the Digivation Network. Like I promised you earlier, we have in the house today an honorable. He's not just in title, but also in his personality. He's from the eastern part of the country, but he's a member of the Lagos House of Assembly. Please join me to welcome Honorable Emeka Idimogu. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
All right, let us start from the very beginning. We all know that since the pandemic came in 2020, it caused a lot of changes to how we do a lot of things, government inclusive. In what ways would you say the pandemic changed the operations of the House of Assembly technologically?
Well, the truth is that the pandemic affected a lot of things. The whole world, not just Lagos or Nigeria only. People have to learn new way of doing things. At the point, the slogan we are hearing like the new normal. Yes, the new normal, the new normal. Well, in the house, we naturally in the house, definitely our sitting method is always through physical. People will come, go through well, as at that time, everybody was trying to learn how to adapt, how to survive it, because the fear we even have everybody, the Russians have Nigeria, like a disease that will wipe off everybody. So I want to also, let me give kudos to my speaker in particular, my members, and the government, Mr. Governor, and the Commissioner of Health. As the way they took the challenge, at the point Lagos was the epic center that COVID, because it was like a gateway. The people that are traveling out, mostly pass, people are coming in, mostly pass through Lagos. Except few that are still in Abuja. So Lagos was just a peak of center where it happened. So I would say the health management started what we did, like the House of Assembly, we did one thing that was special, which was a bill. We have to pass a bill, a COVID bill, to support the governor, Mr. Bagbe, to ensure that he has the funds, because at that point you need money to run a lot of things you do not plan. Things that was here, we never in the budget have to be disrupted, because you have to save life first. Life was important. So we need to thank God for the speaker and other members that rise up, and the COVID bill was passed to support, to give support to whatever Mr. Molo was doing to battle COVID. Because in everything we do, some people are there to watch you. Is there any law guiding you doing X, Y, and Z? So if you don't have that law, it becomes a charge. Before you know, they run to the court and they tell you students and stuff like that. So the house, we work tandem with the executive to ensure that we see how we can control the effects of COVID. Mostly those in health community and some members also have to also visit isolation centers. We see one-on-one what is required, what their challenges are. It's not the mere telling us, we need to go there and see. And I must tell you, it happened. Then the new thing that also Zoom, technological-wise, Zoom becomes another major people communicating. You don't need to be physically present. Well, I will not say we do that much here, but I know that like some of our colleagues on distance, you can have a kind of virtual meeting with Zoom and stuff like that. So these are ways I know COVID-19 particularly affected what we are doing. But I think no matter how, human beings are always having a way to overcome challenges. So I think the right support was given to the government and the medical team. Have been working and they are still working as of today. Really, with the Omicron that is even another third wave, second wave, and the vaccination that is coming up. The house is still doing their very best to ensure that all that they know that we can do to battle COVID.
All right, thank you very much. You're still watching Digivation Network, and with me is Honorable Jude Emeka-Ejibobe, the only man from the eastern part of Nigeria who sits as a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. We will go for a short break now with Bani giving us the top fives. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I'm Bami Gudumola. On today's episode of Top 5s, I'll be giving you top 5 countries that are using cryptocurrency as a mode of payment. At number 5, we have France. In France, did you know that the cryptocurrency is owned by the rich people of France? The awareness of people about cryptocurrency is very high in France. That's why it's one of the countries that uses the highest cryptocurrency. France also has some crypto exchange license which legalizes cryptocurrency usage for the businesses. At number 4, the United States of America. The United States of America is another nation that has a large quantity of cryptocurrency. According to research, 6% of the population in the United States uses cryptocurrencies. Cities like California, Florida, and Colorado are considered the hotspot of crypto investment and trading in the United States. Businesses in these states have accepted Bitcoin as cryptocurrency more than other cryptocurrencies. Number 3, Canada. Cryptocurrencies exchange are classified as money services businesses in Canada. Canada, like its southern neighbor, the United States, maintain a generally pro-Bitcoin posture. For income tax reasons, the Canada Revenue Agency considers Bitcoin to be more of a commodity. This means that any profit made from Bitcoin transaction is considered business profit or capital gain and must be recorded as such. At number 2, we have Australia. Australia has legalized the cryptocurrency exchange. The crypto regulations have been too progressive in the country. More than 59% of Australian citizens have invested in cryptocurrency, most of them between 25 to 34 years of age. In Australia, the government declared that the Bitcoin is subject to capital gains. At the top spot, El Salvador. Did you know that El Salvador is the only country in the world that has declared Bitcoin to be legal tender? Did you know in June 2021, the country's Congress approved the president to formally adopt Bitcoin as a form of payment? That's all for today's edition of the Top 5s. Join us next week for another interesting edition of the Top 5s.
This is AIT Infotech Network, reaching you from Freetown in Sierra Leone, Accra, the Ghanaian capital, Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Johannesburg in South Africa. We are in Cairo in Egypt, Tunis, the Tunisian capital, Cape Town in South Africa, reaching you from Dubai, Hanover in Germany, live from Chicago, Las Vegas in the United States of America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We are in Beijing, China, in London, England.
This is Digivation Network.
This is Digivation Network with Barakabi. You can log on to our YouTube channel to watch more videos on ICT, business, lifestyle, and innovation at www.youtube.com/Digivation Network, or you go to our website at www.digivationnetwork.com. With me here is still Honorable Jude Emeka Itinogo, a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, who is talking to us about governance in Lagos State and so much more. So, sir, let us continue with this conversation. And this time around, I want us to look at the year 2022. What should we expect, especially when we know that it's the year preceding another general election?
For me, I believe it will be a very good year. At the national level, the budget also has a, well, normally all budget, everybody aspires to, every leader wants the budget officially to be greater than the previous year budget. But the challenge is the ability to also find the resources to ensure that all your planned programs are also done as required by the law you have passed, which is the appropriation law, and believing that your citizen will benefit out of it. So, but like I said, I'm hopeful 2022.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Jude Emeka Itinogo, for your time. We appreciate all these things you told us today. We hope that if we call on you next time, you'll be oblige us.
It's my pleasure. You're welcome.
This is Digivation Network.
All right, that's how we pull a curtain on the show today. Probably you missed the show today. You don't have to worry. Just go to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Digivation Network, or you go to our website at www.digivationnetwork.com, or better still, you follow us on all our social media handles. Until we come your way again next week, my name remains Gideon Tobilaba. Bye for now.